Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I am Robin Raju from Everbridge. Let me first quickly check with you if I am audible and you can see my screen. You can just type it on the chat. Okay, good. Thank you very much for that. At the outset, we thank you very much for taking out time on this Thursday afternoon for this webinar titled Desktop Alerts During Critical Events. I work as an account director at Everbridge, and I am based out of Mumbai. And today we are going to look into the desktop delivery channel of mass notification. And the flow of this webinar is going to be like this. I will walk you through the need for resiliency in today's world over about 10 minutes. And then I will hand it over to Basant Kumar, who works as a implementation specialist and at our Bangalore office. So he would be keen to show you the demonstration of this functionality. Just to also keep you interested and to gather your thought process, we also have some polling questions which we will introduce in between. We request you to cast your votes to those options and definitely do share your feedback so that we can improve on this. With that, I am heading into the presentation. A quick disclaimer about what you are about to see and hear. So we will start with a quick polling question, and this polling question would be on your screen now. Please exercise your options. So the question is, how has been your experience with sending or receiving critical communications? Good, not good, no, and it's not, and it doesn't need any overhaul. So good, not good, neutral. So these are the question. Please cast your options and we will pick it up from there. Okay, so thank you for your answers. What you see on your screen is basically an element of growth versus time. And what we are going to do right now is establish the need for resiliency. As you understand, we live in this world of volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity, the VUCA that we call it. So every organization is operating out of their own VUCA environment. And what you see on your screen is an element of optimal condition when an organization is able to deliver its products and services to the marketplace. So when everything is good, everything is fine, the growth is going very linearly along the time axis. And at point one, this organization experiences a critical event. It can be a natural disaster like a flood. It can be a man-made disaster like a fire incident. It can even be a digital disaster like a cyber attack. So when this incident happens, their optimal conditions start going down, as you see the slide from 1 to 2, the red point. From 2 to 3, they get to aware about that something has happened. And then they engage, they start doing triaging and engage the right people. And then they start building their mitigation plans. So 3 to 4 is the mitigation plan. And then at 4, they have arrested the fall of the optimal conditions. And from 4 onwards, there is recovery. So 4 goes and it meets 5, and from 5 is the new optimal condition. So you see the difference between the optimal conditions at the first side and at the from 0.5 onwards. So an organization has already lost time, effort, and unfortunately sometimes people due to a critical event. So this happens every time, this happens all the time. Now, having established that this is nothing uncommon and every organization on this planet is exposed to this, I'm putting another interesting slide in front of you. So this is information from the United Nations Office of Disaster Risk Reduction. And please note, this is a report dated 2020. So I have purposely put an old figure in front of you. So in the year 2020, UNDRR reported that the reported disasters have increased by 74%. And the total number of people impacted have increased 24%. That's more than nearly more than 4 billion people. 4 billion people were impacted. And the economic loss is to the tune of $2.9 trillion. That's again an 82% increase. So they were doing a comparison between the year 1980, 1999 from 2000 to 2019 onwards. So after 2020, a lot of things have happened. We had the biggest crisis, which is COVID. And then, of course, not to mention the 2 wars between Russia, Ukraine, and then the latest between Israel and Palestine, and now the other West Asian countries joining to it. So things have changed dramatically from there on. So all these things have further increased, putting more stress on organizations in their approach to deliver their products and services into the marketplace. Here is a study, and this study was done by Forrester on some of the Everbridge customers worldwide. So what they did is that they reached out to 200 customers across the world, ranging from 5,000 employees to 50,000 employees from various vertical, BFSI, manufacturing, technical, and FMCG. And over the 3 years period, based on their interview, this was the findings that they have put together a saving of 8.3 million US dollars over 3 years across these 4 areas: reduced business disruption, reduced employee productivity losses, reduced the damages to their property, and of course, reduced IT downtime. All put together, $8.3 million on an average was the potential impact that this companies positively did because of digitizing their critical event management processes. So they all had their manual processes, but after digitizing this, they were able to reduce the time, the effort needed to respond to this critical event. And as a result, this is the benefit. My last slide for you is this. We are seeing an increased convergence towards a fusion center. So what is a fusion center? Is basically it is a resurrection of a role called a Chief Resiliency Officer. Yes, you heard it right, Chief Resiliency Officer. And the Chief Resiliency Officer is not only responsible for the physical threats, he's also responsible for any digital threats or any external threats that will impact the business of an organization. So they're taking the discussion away from being a cost center. Like they always say, security is a cost center. So they're taking the discussion away from being a cost center to a business enabler into the boardroom and talking actively with the chief executives of an organization that this is the value that they present. So what is a fusion center? A fusion center is nothing but a conglomeration of your existing technologies, whatever infrastructure you today have, whether for risk intelligence, for mass notifications, for crisis planning, for PCP continuity, and also integrating your security hardwares like camera, CCTV, access control, detection, things so on and so forth into a common operating dashboard, such that whether you have a natural disaster, you have a man-made disaster, or you have a digital disruption like a critical application going down, this fusion center will alert you, engage the right person, and ask them to do the right thing. So it is a combination of doing the right things, getting to know the right information, and doing this every time. So that's largely what the world is converging towards. So a quick summary of what we have discussed today is the following. The world is complex and it is rapidly changing. What we do is we help you to anticipate, mitigate, respond to, and recover from critical events. In the process, we simply digitize your resiliency plans so that you have a better experience. So with that, this is time for our second polling question, and you will have this polling questions on your screen now. Please poll. Yeah. So the question, I'll read a question out for you. The question is, are you able to measure communication success accurately for your recipient? So what this means is that if there is an emergency and you have sent a communication to these people, do you know what percentage of these people have received this communication, or what percentage of these people have taken the action that you wanted them to take very clearly without any deviation? So that's the question for you on the screen. Please vote. Thank you. All right, thank you very much for that. Now it's time for me to hand it over to Basant. So Basant will take it over from here. I will stop sharing the screen and let Basant to take it from here. And Basant will walk you into a demo environment and show you the benefit of how very simply you can just send mass notification and especially use the desktop alert to engage your recipients. Thank you. Over to you, Basant.
Thanks, Robin. Hello, everyone, once again, and hopefully you guys are able to see my screen now. Second screen. Robin, can you confirm that?
I can see. Thank you.
Okay, so we are going to discuss in this webinar mass notification capabilities as well as the desktop alert. Using Everbridge mass notification, we always use to say exactly right message to right people on the right time. So mass notification model on Everbridge, right? We can send out the quick communication very efficiently, accurately, and very quickly. That's the whole purpose is. Right now, what you are seeing is Everbridge screen. It's a SaaS-based application, and it's totally based on role-based access, right? So right now, what I'm showing you guys on this screen, there are different models, different features, but our focus is going to be mass notification and desktop alerting for this webinar. In next webinar, we might cover another modules for that. And when I talk about the mass notification, Everbridge use multi-modality for sending out the alerts, right? We can use SMS, voice call, email, etc. All those different method, different channel to communicate in emergency. In that also, we have in Everbridge, we have a publishing option. From that, we can use desktop alert as well. So when we use the desktop alerts, these alerts pop up on desktop device and get immediate attention for the recipient. That's very important when we have an emergency, especially the use cases where events where you have a building evacuation, cyber attacks, or critical weather situation where you have to alert employee as soon as possible. And in the case, like sometime employee ignore those emails, calls as well, in that situation, it's very important because they are busy in the doing critical work and they just ignore all those messages. So in that case, the desktop alert is going to be very effective for the communication, as well as these alerts are unlimited. You can send out as many as you want, right? So for quick demo on how to send out these notification alerts, I'll just talk about first around this quick dashboard, what I have configured here. What you guys are seeing, it's a quick overview of the system, which say how many employees I have, what quick launch facility I have, where we have all these, just a summary of that system right now. Okay, so I have a template ready. Like when we talk about the emergency communication, either we can create a notification on the fly uh, while need to communicate. Otherwise, we always recommend to have some template ready, be prepared for that, and send out when it's needed. So I have few template ready for this demo. I'm just going to use my quick launch, and you go to template section where I have two template ready for this demo, but I'm going to use a cyber attack one. I'm just going to select first cyber attack and just click on send as a notification, individual notification. I just wanted to demo it, so don't want to send it as a events. I'll just click on send, and this will drop me on active and history page where I have complete detail on how my alert is performing right now. In between, I'll share my screen, mobile screen, where I'm getting Everbridge alerts, because I configure the template in such a way I should be getting voice call, SMS, email, as well as alert from mobile app. So as well as a desktop alert. So I'll just quickly.
This is an emergency message. There is an
Read
active
that.
cyber attack for System 9.
Exactly the message which I'm communicating.
Drag until cybersecurity team has confirmed a resolution. Press 1 to confirm receipt. Press 2 to replay this message.
And in between, I will confirm that, and my desktop alert is active now. So you can see it's coming as a screensaver, and it covered whole my screen saying there is an active cyber attack. A specific application has been attacked, and we don't have to use it until security team has confirmed it. So that's the benefit of desktop alerting, which even I'll show you on my mobile app. I'll just go back to my Everbridge app where I have received the notification, which say same message, but I have confirmed already. Even I have received it as a SMS, including email. I'll just share how this is going to appear on my email. So let me pull that screen. Yep. But when I acknowledge it here, because we are looking only one acknowledgement from the recipient, it will say it's been already acknowledged. And on the real-time basis, we can see all the history, how the message has performed. We can see it actively on this page. Who has confirmed, who haven't confirmed. We don't have to. So if I go on my name, under my name, you'll see all the delivery method which I used it: mobile push alert, SMS, email, as well as the voice call, where I confirmed on the voice call. I could have confirmed in different ways also, but right now I confirmed first on the voice call, where I have all the detail, what message we sent it out, and how we sent it out, all those details. It's on auto refresh. I just enabled it. That's why it's showing on. I'll just disable that. And you can see who has confirmed, who has not confirmed. When we send out to like larger set of people, we'll have a complete detail, as well as the method detail. What are the method we have used it? If we need to analyze how the message has performed, we can download this report as well, detailed analysis reports that will give complete detail on how this emergency message has worked for what the confirmation records are, what the percentage are, everything we can analyze it here. As well as we do have a custom report. If we have a specific requirement on analyzing these data, we do have that under the report section. But this is going to be very useful when we have to get all the data, how emergency communication has performed, as well as we do have an option if we need to send out the follow-up messages, rebroadcast it, or either we can stop it as well. So that's the screen where we can get all the detail. I'll go back on the notification template, which I used it for this demo. I'll just open that notification. That's the notification template. I used it. I created it earlier, but I'll just walk through how we configured that as well as the desktop alerts. So when we talk about the notification template, there's three things basically. What we wanted to communicate, three sections. First section is what we wanted to communicate. Second is to whom we wanted to communicate and how we wanted to communicate. So once again, I'll go through all the section here. What's going to be the title for message notification? What's going to be the body? What message we wanted to communicate? If we want to communicate a separate SMS message, we do have an option for that. As well as if we have a separate message or richer format for email, we have a different section for that. Like we can have pictures, headers, footers, much better looking email messages for these alerts. So we have a different section on how to communicate. Even we can prioritize it. If it's a high priority message, or even this checkbox where we have a immune threat to life. If we enable that, it works for that Apple device. When Apple device is on a silent mode, it's bypass that. So that's also very important. After that, we have a publishing option exactly. That's where we have Everbridge desktop alert, right? Where I have enable Everbridge desktop alerts. That's where I have a template, the theme, exactly the format which I used it for desktop alerting, the screensaver, everything is configured here. I'm using the same message exactly title and the content which is appearing on the desktop alerts. Once again, I'll show you as a preview the way it appeared on my desktop device. So yeah, that's a preview while creating this template. And when we reach out, when we send out the alerts, that could be an individual person, group of people, or based on some categories, we can filter it out using rules, as well as based on their geolocations, right? That we use it as this map. So that's where whom we wanted to communicate. And the last piece is the settings, where we define all the configuration on what are the delivery method we wanted to use. Like we used it mobile app, SMS, email, voice call, as well as if we wanted to get confirmation, or we wanted to send a second cycle of communication. When I say second cycle of communication, it's complete all delivery. For delivery method is one cycle. If we wanna do another cycle, that is also configurable. On each template, we can configure it, but it's all been configured on org level, so you don't have to configure it individually for each template, but we do provide the flexibility where we can configure on each specific template label as well. One more thing I just wanted to highlight here, when we communicate on the template on the notification section, we do have an option on standard message. Right now, I sent it as a standard message, where we are looking just a confirmation of the employee, confirm you received it or not. But we do have an option where we need a particular response from employee, like if it's a building evacuation, are you evacuated safely? Are you safe or not? All those pooling options we can send out with this communication, and they can respond based on what we have provided as an option. And third option is exactly the conference bridges. Sometimes we have to launch the conference bridges for in a crisis where we can communicate with each other with the conference bridges. So that's around the conference bridges. But exactly, the notification template consists 3 sections: what we wanted to communicate, whom we wanted to communicate, and how we wanted to communicate. As well as we can save this template for the future users. It's always advisable, or we can make it as a reoccurring. We can save it for later as well, or we can send it right away as well. So, yep, that's all from my end around the notification, mass notification demo and desktop alerting features. If you have any question, just let me know. Drop.
Yes, thank you very much, Basant, for that engaging demonstration. So while you have seen these things, so while you have seen the demonstration, I would like to tell you that when there is a crisis situation, you can send a mass notification in 3 clicks and under 3 seconds. It'll just take 3 clicks and 3 seconds to send a mass notification to either 1,000 people or 100 lakh people.
Yeah.
And while you have seen us clicking a lot of buttons, this is the manual mode. You can also automate it. Let's say if something goes bad in the middle of the night and there is nobody manning your security operations center, this platform can be looking for any alerts and intimate the right people, because we have location awareness of where they are, and then intimate them and engage your crisis response team. So that's the power of the system. Yep. So with that, what I would do is I will take over the screen from Basant, and it's time for our final polling question. I hope you can see my screen, and I will transition it to the final polling question on your screen right now. The question is, during an emergency, how would you prefer to be reached out? It's very important because many of these crisis communication systems today fail because they use a system which the employee doesn't want to be engaged with. So a very relevant and pertinent question. During an emergency, how would you prefer to be reached out? Voice call, SMS, mobile application, all of the above. Please select your option. Thank you. So with that, we will get into the question and answer. So if we have any questions, you can put it on the chat. We would like to take those questions now.
Hi, Robin. Robin, we have 2 questions in the Q&A, and I have few questions in my email. So whichever way you want to go, let me know.
Sure, no problem. You can pick them up and let us know.
Okay.
So between me and Basant, we can choose to answer. Thank you.
All right, I will read it out for you. So the first one, I will read it from Hardik Shah. He's asking how this can be integrated with other tool or our monitoring to visualize on global map.
Okay, so the question from Hardik is how they can integrate it with their existing monitoring software. Yeah, a threat monitoring software or some other application that they are currently using. Hardik, thank you for that question. So with regards to integration, we can integrate the Everbridge suite to any application via an API. Understand, Everbridge is an ecosystem, and we have our ecosystem partners with whom we have readily built connectors. So if you are using a platform for visualization, and if this happens to be our ecosystem partner, then we can definitely use that connector and readily integrate. If not, then we can build a connection in between and make it talk to each other. So I hope that answers this question for you. Happy to take this offline a little bit more deeper in terms of what you want to achieve and what is the specific tool that you use so that we can take it forward. You will be shared our coordinates on which we can correspond. Thank you. Rupit, over to you for the next question.
Yeah, there is one more question from the webinar which says, should the users install any app to get the desktop alert?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I face these questions most of the time. So the question is, that should the users install any app to get a desktop alert? And a very pertinent question is because if I am not if I have not logged in onto a particular app or installed onto a particular app, how will I get that alert? So the answer is no, you don't have to do anything. In the eventuality of an event, when your SOC team sends a communication, you don't have to install anything, you don't have to log in into anything. If they choose to select you, for example, if they choose that you also are a recipient to that communication, that's all that they have to do with the backend. You don't have to log in, you don't have to install anything, and you will get the communication. And I would like to narrate one story here, which just pops up to my mind. So you have seen the desktop alert that Basant showed. Cyber attack is underway, and please take the required action on the desktop. We had a customer who was not in favor of this particular functionality. Why? Because they have always customer facing, and they don't want that when they are customer facing, their screens be taken up with a communication and distracted. Lo and behold, what happened is that this is a building with 1,000 people inside, and there was a short circuit. As a result, there was a public announcement, and there was a hooter that was running, but it was a false alarm. So the security ops team, working with the communications team, wanted to quickly reach out to everybody. So what they did is that they published that alert on the desktop so that they are quickly aware of. And yes, at that point in time, this person had a customer, was exposed to a customer. They were disturbed a little bit, but their customers also appreciated to the fact that, okay, you have a system through which you are able to engage people, whether they are with their mobile phones or if they are away from their mobile phones. So it basically builds into the business continuity and the resiliency commitment of an organization. Great. Are there any other questions for us?
Yes, Robin, I have received few on my email. So one is interesting question again. Can we run desktop alerts for different time zone and keep the receiver's time as same? In the sense, if I want to send 9 a.m. India, can it be 9 a.m. Singapore, 9 a.m. Australia, 9 a.m. US, and 9 a.m. EMEA or any other European countries?
Okay, I would let Basant answer that. Basant, can you answer this question for
Yes,
the
Rob.
audience?
Yes, that's totally possible. When we launch that notification, that's going to be based on recipient time zone. That's going to be delivered. That's totally possible. Yep.
Yeah. So the answer is yes. You can have that alert sent to you at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. IST or 9 a.m. CST or EST or NESTs. Thank you.
Okay. Next question, what I received was how safe and secure the employee data is from privacy point of view.
Very pertinent question. Data privacy is something that we are always engaged as a part of a contract signing. So I would like to tell you that from a US point of view, we are a FedRAMP certified. From Europe point of view, we are GDPR certified. And we have all the other certifications like TRAI, Telecom Regulatory Authority of India certifications for India. So not just enterprise customers, since we work with governments and countries, we have our skin in this game. So we have all the required certifications that is needed to operate a business from a data security point of view. So at any point in time, please feel free to reach out if you need any information on that front. There is a dedicated page called Compliance on our website, which speaks about all our certifications that is available. Thank you.
Okay. Last question, Robin, Basant. Can employees choose to opt in or opt out for receiving this type of notification, the desktop notification?
Okay, Basant, can you please?
It's based on organization. If they allow that, that's could be possible. But generally it goes on complete organization where we deploy all these desktop alerts. Yeah.
Okay. So the
Alright.
answer is that it is completely governed by an organization. However, you may have employees who would say that, okay, please opt me out. I don't want to be alerted even if there is a fire or a flood. Please opt me out. You may have that situation. End of the day, you have to respect somebody's privacy. So employees can definitely opt out. Okay, good. I think that was the last question, Rupit, or is there anyone?
Yes, Robin, we have somebody from JSP Arts and Craft. He has raised his hand. Can I allow him to speak? He has not posted a question.
Yeah, no problem. Let's hear it out.
Hello, whosoever is from JSP Arts and Craft. Could you go ahead with your question, please?
Okay. Well, no problem. Maybe they are not around. So in the interest of time, I think we are right on time, maybe 2 minutes early. So I would like to thank everybody who participated in this webinar. Thank you very much for joining us and giving us your dedication in the last 45 minutes or so. I hope we were able to add to your knowledge in building resiliency. Let us know if you want to share any thoughts or how we can improve our webinars going forward. We always welcome feedbacks. We always welcome feedback. So please let us know. So we did the first of this webinars in the month of March. We are doing this towards April end. We look forward to do something towards mid-June. And let us know if you have any topic of interest from a organizational resiliency point of view. So with that, me and my team would like to take your leave. Thank you very much for your time and availability. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.